Good morning. We are on day 5, and Regina and I have been taking everyone on this beautiful journey of weaving in and out of what the spiritual benefits are, and then Regina is rolling through and actually building a foundation of all these poses and how they just flow one into the next. So today we're going to do the locust, and she's going to show you what that is here in a moment. I wanted to share because one of the spiritual benefits of the locust is open communication. And when Regina sent me the list of all the ones we were going to do, this one was like, I immediately went, oh my gosh, like I can't wait till day 5, right? Because my heart and everything I do is really about communication, and that open communication, particularly with our family. I mean, I laugh because so back in 2011, actually the work I do with families around something called the 4 gifts. And those gifts are everything about how you can sit down and have a connection with your family in a way where everyone feels respected and heard and, valued and celebrated in that process. But my work for doing that was actually recognized as one of the next best brilliant ideas for humanity. And I sort of laugh about the brilliant part because my brilliant idea is that we should connect as a family and communicate, right? So this really is my heart. My husband is just retired. He's a chiropractor for 40 plus years. And it's funny that my my throat's closing up today as we're supposed to be talking about opening our throat chakras. So we'll dissect that later as to what that means. But anyway, but he used to have a sign up on his wall when he was practicing that said almost everything in life can be solved with 3 things: diet, exercise, and communication. And I'm sure it's not 100% true, but I think it's pretty close to true if you think about the things that in our life that we could solve a lot with by, just really focusing on our health and well-being, but also having that beautiful communication that can weave in and out of our lives. One of the things I wanted to share today is, along with my 4 gifts that I do share, is a book. I bet everyone, let me take a drink. Oh my God. I think it opened. Okay. It was the 5 love languages. And I bet everyone's heard of that book. Have you heard of it, Regina?
I love that book.
Yeah, I love that book, right? I even give it as a gift.
Yeah, it's like way.
So the 5 love languages, I bet everybody's familiar, but just as a real quick, it's like acts of service, physical touch, words of affirmation, quality time, and gifts. And I just wanted to share this really quickly because if this is not something you've done with your family, I just so encourage you to do is sit down and have this conversation about the 5 love languages. Because I'm going to stand up here for a second, but before I read this book, I literally used to walk around the house like this during the day. I know I just cut off my head, but you get the point. I was dragging my son David with me, and because his love language is physical touch. And when I finally read the book and I figured that out, I just changed one thing in the morning, which was to give him unconditional time of really allowing him to sit on my lap, to be in my space. I mean, to this day, David's like 28 years old. And if we go for a walk, he walks me off the sidewalk because his love language is just being in that closed space with you. So after I learned that, it wasn't a gradual shift. It was like an overnight shift in terms of how he, his day went, because I was speaking to him in a language that made sense to him. I was communicating him in a way that spoke the loudest to him. So I would just encourage you to open up that line of communication with your family. And then also to remember that listening is actually a form of communication. And we don't look at it, but I always used to tell my boys that God gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. I have absolutely no idea if that's true, but they believe it. But listening is so powerful. I mean, really intentful listening. So the 4 gifts can really create a foundation for your family. The 5 love languages can really allow you to explore the language that speaks the loudest and really open up that lines of communication. And last and certainly not least is maybe first and foremost even is learning to really listen with your heart and really truly engaging with the person in a way where they feel heard and respected in that process. So with that, again, I could like this is my heart, right? This communication is just so important. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Regina, who's now going to show us the pose that kind of also taps into all that opening up of the communication, opening up of the throat chakras, which clearly I need to do this morning. So I will be doing it right along with her as well. So Regina, go for it.
Thanks, Cheryl. I knew there was a reason that you and I connected so well. And every day, I love not only this challenge for so many reasons that we get to share with others, but I get to learn more about my friend and my soul sister. And it's so cool because I have such a love for the love languages. It changed my life.
Mm-hmm.
Like literally, if we think about the love languages like linguistics, right? People speak Chinese and another person speaks English. And if they don't know how to communicate with body language or with their eyes, they're not speaking the same. They don't know how to communicate, right?
Mm-hmm.
And communication is so much more than words. It's expression. And it's literally like, as I say that, I feel
I'm getting goosebumps.
Right?
right with you. Right with you.
Landing in the world, in someone else's world, and it's almost, and hopefully I'm saying this in a way that everyone can understand. It's like putting yourself in their shoes and in their eyes and how they vision the world and how they experience the world. So if it's touch, like with your son, like that is game changing because now you can relate to him in a way that accesses his language. So you can get him to do what you need him to do. And
right.
He does it with love and joy.
Yeah. And the other thing, and I'll just share because I will obviously get you on the poses here, but my other son is his love language is words of affirmation. And what was beautiful was my younger son, David, who's the physical touch, whatever, but he knew Brian's was words of affirmation. So whenever Brian would have something coming up, like a big test or just something important going on, David would literally put Post-it notes all over his room saying, you can do it and go for it. And because we all understood how to support one another. So it's really a beautiful journey.
Wow.
Yeah.
I love it. Thank you so much for sharing that. It's so powerful.
Mm-hmm.
So cool. Well, thank you everyone for joining us on this beautiful journey over the 10 days that we're together. And certainly there will be many, many more opportunities to continue on this path. But I'm really enjoying the challenges every day, taking a little bit of mindful time to focus on one, sometimes a few more, because it's really hard for me to just do one a day. I want you guys to know that. And I also understand that yoga is a progression. So I have been throwing in little bonus poses every day. And so today I'm very excited to share with you LOCUST, because LOCUST is it's a basic pose. It's not very hard. And the beauty of it is it says so much. So what we're going to do is we're going to lie down on our bellies. So lying down on your belly, let's see. I'm going to lower my camera a little bit so you guys can see me, because I know we have, okay, the banner there, which is awesome. I love the banner. All right, so you guys can see me, right? Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to take your hands and press them down with your thumbs at your breastbone. And then just allow yourself to rest on your right ear. Take a nice deep breath in through your nose. And then exhale, lift up off the hands. Beautiful. And then again, nice big breath in as you lower. And then exhale as you lift. And then again, one more nice big deep breath in as you lower. And then as you exhale, go ahead and lift up. Okay, so I'm going to bring my hands here just for a moment. So there's a couple variations for LOCUST. You're going to actually, and what we're doing is we're warming up. So what we just did is actually called Cobra. But LOCUST, you're going to bring your hands back behind you. So I wanted us to just warm up a little bit. So LOCUST, you're going to bring your feet close together and you're going to press your thighs into the earth, into your mat, and then lift up. And then release, come to your left ear. Take a nice deep breath in through your nose. Exhale, release, lift up. Beautiful. And then again, nice big breath as you lift. And then switch sides from ear to ear on each side, so that way your neck is not pulled to one direction. and then lift. Beautiful. And then go ahead and for a moment, bring your hands like pillow into your, let your hands rest on your head rest on your hands. So what's beautiful about this pose is, like I said, it's very simple, and I'm going to rise up just so I can speak with you. It's a very simple pose, but what it does is it offers a lot of support. It actually, because we're lifting our heart, we're actually opening up the throat chakra, right? We're engaging the belly and the core by lifting up. We're also placing some awareness into our low back. So if you have lower back pain, this is not going to be the best pose to begin diving into. You want to go really nice and slow. And so that's why I wanted to share with you a couple variations. So locust pose, again, it's really good if you want to open up the belly, like if you've been doing a lot of abdominal stretches or exercises. This is a great counter pose to get in there and open up the abdomen and counter pose that. And then, of course, coming to cobra or upward dog, this is another excellent variation. So locust, hands would be at your sides like this, with your palms facing up, feet pressing into the earth. And then when you're ready, lifting up. And then lower down. It also engages the core and the belly, so you're really working the midsection. Okay. Also, of course, it works the thighs and the legs. Really engaging the legs, pressing the muscles to the bones is going to allow you to have a much stronger pose here. And then I like these because it just gives you a little extra stretch. So those are a couple variations there. So what I'd like to do is just go ahead and from the beginning, I'd like to go ahead and offer you the opportunity to join us for the full 5 days, so to speak. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to go back to quote unquote day 1, and we'll start and do a series of all of them. Okay. So again, just bringing your hands to your heart, closing your eyes for a breath. Gratitude for being here, being with us on this challenge. Thanking your family and yourself for coming to your mat today. Bring your arms up overhead. And we're going to start with standing arch or back bend. So bringing your feet together, arms up overhead. Take a nice deep breath in. Exhale as you lean back. Beautiful. Bring your hands to your heart. And then we're going to come to our day 2 pose, which was warrior. So you're going to take left foot back and then bend the front knee, arms up, nice and strong, belly towards the midsection, almost like you're pressing your belly towards your back. Nice big deep breath in, exhale. Beautiful. And then we're going to do revolve triangle, which is day 3. So day 3, you're going to take your right hand behind you, and if you have a block, you would have your hand resting on your block. So this is one version of revolve triangle. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other side, so we get both sides. So this is one variation of revolve triangle. If you want to go a little deeper into the stretch, you can take your left hand back behind you and lift up. Okay, and then we're going to do extended side angle. So extended side angle is just like that, extended triangle. So you're going to bring your right hand down. Take a nice deep breath in and bring arms up overhead, hands to your heart. Close your eyes for a breath. Exhale. And then let's go ahead. Let's lower down for locust. Hands at your sides. Draw your chin down to the mat. Go ahead and lift up. Feet pressing together. Beautiful. Lower down. And then we're going to do it on the other side for those that want to join me. So I'm going to go back to the beginning. Do a little back bend here, hands to heart. And then I'm going to come to warrior 2. Nice big deep breath in. Beautiful. Then I'm going to come to revolve triangle. So revolve triangle, I'm going to, this way. And then if I want to, I can go a little deeper into the stretch this way. Beautiful. And then extended side angle or triangle. A lot of them, they look very similar. Sometimes there's kind of debates about which one's which. So at the end of the day, as long as you do the same on both sides, in my book, it doesn't matter. All right, and then we'll finish off with one more beautiful locust. So coming back down to your mat. Hands at your sides. And lift up. And if you want to here, you can lift the feet up. If you want to rise up a little more, go deeper into that stretch. Soften, release. And when you're ready, coming back up to a seated position. Hands at your heart. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us on day 5 of our Poses with Purpose Challenge. We're excited to see you tomorrow.